Hello and welcome back to Fenton Gaming Plays Neverwinter Nights 2 Complete. I'm your host Fenton, and this Neverwinter Nights 2 build video. We're going to go ahead and do the ultimate Undead Bane, the Doomguide, and Cleric build. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more Neverwinter Nights 2 builds like this. Do not forget to hit the notification bell so be updated and more. Here are the pros and cons of this build, so let's go with the pros first. Obviously, you have so many good tools to take out the undead. Your turn undead will be much more powerful. You're going to be able to cast the same type of magic as if you were a level 30 cleric, since we're going that path too. You're going to have very high wisdom and very good charisma with the build, at least lead to starting charisma. One more thing is you're able, if you do pick the god, or a certain, I should say, domain, have a bastard sword. So here's the cons of this build. Some you're because you're going 2010, you're not getting the full power of cleric spells. You can get about level 20 of that. Another thing is some of your DPS spells against normal foes will be extremely limited until your very high level. And your reflex saves, yeah, they suck. But your will saves are good though. Let's go ahead and start with the races. I'm going to go ahead and go over the races for this build. First of all, we're going to go ahead and talk about the dwarves. Now, I'd probably say gold dwarves are pretty good. You're going to have -2 dexterity. That's a down issue, but if you like a dwarf, that'll be good for that. Gray dwarves, I'm going to say pass on because that -4 charisma will hurt you big time. You want 14 for that at least for the turn undead for this build. Shield dwarves, same thing as well. -2 though. Pass on that. Let's go to the elves, shall we? Drow, they're actually pretty good, just -2 constitution, some ECL leveling. It'll take a little bit longer to level. Other stats on the Drow is actually very nice. Let's go talk about the moon elves. -2 constitution, that's only downside. Very good to have on this. Now sun elves, no, they're alright. They're more of the I should say wizard type of flavor. Wild elves, more of a sorcerer type of flavor or so. Wood elves, I'm going to probably say this is a good setup. You're going to have -2 constitution and intelligence, but that's alright. Out of the elves, I'll probably say wood elves and drow. As for gnomes, normally I would promote the living heck out of gnomes, but here I got to have some issues at least. You're going to see why. Now, deep gnomes, -4 charisma, +2 wisdom, that's good. However, your weapons will be limited. And the other gnomes is just -2 strength. Halflings, I'm going to probably say is pass on that too, both races on that. Half elves and half drow, they're very good. No plus or minuses on any of the ability scores. Still, if you want none of that, go that path. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about half orc. I'm going to say pass on it. If you want much more of a strong cleric, that's fine, but -2 charisma, intelligence. Well, actually, the charisma is the big deal breaker. Humans, I'm going to say this is the best race for the build, actually. 1 extra feat when you get your first level, a few extra skill points, helps out big time. Let's talk about the plain touch. Now, this race is actually pretty good for this build. It'll take a bit longer to level, but +2 wisdom, +2 charisma, that is really nice. It's like a little head start. You're going to miss out on the feat, though. So I'll remember that. Tieflings, I normally would say it's good, but that -2 charisma, that's the downside. Yeah, like I said before, I'm trying to focus on 14 charisma and max out much as we can wisdom. This race, I'm going to say hard pass, big time, minus on the wisdom and charisma. Same thing with this one too. So air and earth, no. This one, I'm going to probably say pass on that too, the fire ones. So any of the Jinsai races, no. The deity touch one that you want to go for. This one's actually pretty good because that's +2 on the dex, intelligence, and wisdom. Grey orcs are good on the wisdom, but the charisma, intelligence, yeah, that's the downside of it. So best race I'll probably say is definitely a human. Now, as far as classes, there's only exactly 2. First of all, you're going to be spending a lot of time as a cleric until you get the requirements for the Doomguide. Now, you got to be any lawful, of course, diplomacy rank 5, extra turning, great fortitude, and able to cast level 3 spells. And you must pick the god Kelemovr. Yeah, hard to pronounce, but you know which god I'm talking about. We'll talk about that next after the alignment. Once you're done with the Doom Guide, you go back to the Cleric for the rest of the build. So it's not too hard at all. Let's pick the Cleric. Okay, Lawful. Lawful good, Lawful evil, and Lawful neutral. If you do not want to be smited, Lawful neutral is the way to go. I'm going to go ahead and pick Lawful good. Deity. This is important. You got one choice. This one. You get the Baster Sword as your favorite weapon. And if you pick the War Domain, you get the weapon focus that. You'll be able to use it, which is extremely nice. Now, as far as building scores, let's go over that. Strength and Dexterity is at 12. Keep it there, no matter what. As for Constitution, what I did was put that to 14. A little bit more hit points and 4-2 saves. 4-2 saves will go up anyways. Intelligence, keep that at 10. It's perfect there. Wisdom, put that at 16. And there you go. And as for Charisma, put that exactly at 14. You're going to be raising your Wisdom throughout this build. Charisma will be at base 14. Items will boost it up, which is very advisable. As for background, you can pick no background at all. I think Dive Out is the best way to go. You lose Diplomacy and buff, but you'll definitely get the Diplomacy and levels. So let's select that. Now, as for skills, you're going to have 3 only. Concentration, important. Diplomacy, 3rd important. And the second most important one is Spellcraft. Yeah, that's right. That's the second most important. So Spellcraft, Concentration, and Diplomacy all the way. As for feats, we're going to have some nice selection. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pick Luck of the Heroes. That's a good one. Or Spell Casting Prodigy. Those two are good. So if you want more save throws and armor, Luck of the Heroes, Spell Casting Prodigy, you want advantage in spell casting, pick this one. I advise picking this one over Luck of the Heroes. Both are good for your first feat. And if you only have one feat, select the one I'm about to select, which is, let's see, where is it at? Extra turning. That's a requirement for the Doom Guide. So focus on extra turning and spellcasting prodigy. Those are 2 you want if you can. If not, extra turning is the way to go for anyone who else is 1 feat. As for domains, I'm going to definitely say his Sun. That is a very good domain. And War. Now, War has some nice stuff. It has Flame Strike, Power Word, Stun. Those are decent. However, you get Weapon Focus, the Baster Sword. That's why I picked that Deity for it. Second, Sun is very good. This will give you Sunbeam early on, level 7 instead of 8. You still get the level 8 version, but it's nice. Searing Light, you get 2 instead of 3. Now, if you don't like Sun, other alternatives is, let me go down the list. Time and Travel, those are really good. Trickery is nice too. Evil's good if you want to go for a little bit more oomph. Good domain's good. And Healing, if you want more healing, healing is nice as well. So this build, I say War and Sun is the definite way to go for this build. So let's go ahead and select that. Earth is nice too, I heard. I think because of the toughness in it, if I remember correctly. So it's up to you on rest, but I still, like I said before, War is the best one to go, and Sun is the best to go for this build. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is give some final advice before we go ahead and talk about spell selection. You're going to start out a little bit slow. However, your turning undead will be very powerful. Once you get some nice spells, you'll be really up there. Once you complete the Doom Guide levels and back to the Cleric, you'll wreck everything in sight. Undead will fall to you quickly just like that. So let's go ahead and talk about the next part of this build, spells. Now, as for level 0 and summons, their level 0 spells are pretty decent to start with until you, of course, get used to level 1 spells and beyond. As for summons, definitely use them as tanks. This way you could nuke from afar and safe distance. So let's go ahead and talk about level 1. Let's go over the level 1 spells. Bless. Allies get +1 attack rolls and save on fear. Very good buffing spell. Persistent, I think, meta magic feat. Great to use with. Cause fear. Make your foes who's weak to fear run around. So this way you have crowd control at some degree. Cure light rooms. You can use that to heal yourself or attack the undead. Yeah, one of those attacking undead spells. Inflict light wounds. It's a touch damage, but good against the living, so if you need some DPS against the living, this is the spell to go to. Next up to bat is Endure Elements. That's 10 slash damage resistant against all elemental types. Good buffing spell to start with. Night Shield provides resistant bonus on saving throws and negate massive missile attacks direct at you. Another good buffing spell for yourself. Protection from alignment plus 2 AC and saves against certain alignment. Immune to mind control from certain alignment. Good buffing spell. Remove fear. Removes fear if any of you or your party members should get fear. I should say more like your party members. Great spell to have. As far as level 2 spells, aid +1 on attack rolls and saves against fear. 1d8 hit dice of temporary hit points, +1, maximum +10 on that. Good buff spell. Owl's Wisdom, very great to have. Gives you +4 wisdom up to, which is good. Cure moderate wounds. This will also heal your party members or anyone living, or use as a DPS against the dead. Inflict moderate wounds, another tool against the living, if you wanted to go that route. Searing Light is also in level 2, but we'll talk about that in level 3. Last set of level 2 spells. Lesser Dispel Magic gets rid of some weaker spells that enemies buff themselves with. Great to harass them with that. Resist Energy, that's 20 slash damage resistance from all elemental types. Upgrade from the last Endure Elements. Good to have. Silence, negate sound in a 20 feet radius. Good against Spellcaster. Sound Burst deals 1d8 sonic damage to subjects, may stun them. Another great spell to use against the living. Cure serious wounds. You can use that to either heal yourself or attack the undead with it. Great DPS spell against the undead. Inflict serious wounds for level 3. Again, this is another touch spell, but it's great against the living. Magical Circle against alignment, as per protection from alignment, but affects allies as well in nearby radius. Great buffing spell to have. Replace the protection from alignment once you get this spell. Last set of level 3 spells. Prayer. Allies get +1 bonus on hit, damage, skills, saves, such. Enemies will receive that same of penalties. Great buffing spell. Searing Light. This ray does 1d8 half of the level against the living, 1d6 against constructs, full 1d8 against the undead. Wonderful first offensive spell against the undead to get. You use it against the living or anything else, but great against the undead. Invincibility Purge dispels invisibility from creatures nearby. If you figure an enemy is invisible, pop this up, baby. Let's talk about the level 4 spells. So let's talk about level 4 spells. Cure critical wounds. This is good healing yourself. It also does good damage against the undead. Inflict critical wounds. Another good anti-living spell you definitely want to use. Dismissal forces summon creatures to return to their native plane. Great to get rid of those pesky summons. Death Ward grants immunity to death and negative energy spells and effects. Cast this on yourself and or your party members. Hammer of the Gods cause 1d8 / 2 levels of divine damage in a localized area of effect. Great DPS spell. Living and the undead will suffer. Least Spell Mantle. Absorb spells equivalent to 1d4 + 4 spell levels. This is a great protection spell. You want to cast this on yourself so you could absorb some of those pesky spell damages and such. On to level 5. There's not much here, but I'm going to talk. Flame Strike. Smite those in an area effect with divine and fire damage. 1d6 fire, 1d6 divine. Very good AoE spell against the living. Also the dead too. Slay living. Touch spell attack kills the subject. If they fail their saves, they're gone. Doesn't work against the undead. Great, of course, anti-living spell. Lesser Spell Mantle. It's like the least one, but much better. It's 1d6 + 6 spell levels. Great to have. Spell Resistance. Subject gains spell resistance 12 + 1 per level. Wonderful buff spell you should use on yourself. True Seeing lets you see through illusionary and invisible effects. Also Stealthy Rogues too. You want this on your character. Must have. If you get any items with True Seeing, keep it. Next up on list, Banishment. Banishes 2 hit dice / level of extra planar creatures. And those extra planar creatures come to this plane. Get rid of them with that spell. Blade Barrier summons a wall of blades, dealing 1d6 per level damage to those who try to cross it. Great against the living and the dead. Must have. Harm. Deals 10 points of level damage to a target. That's the living. This heals the undead. Another great DPS spell against the living. Heal. Cures, of course, the living. 10 points per level. Max is 150, just like the harm version with the undead. However, this will also be great against nuking the undead, which is 150 hit points. So let's say roll a save, and then of course it'll take half the damage. So let's talk about the last set of level 6 spells. Superior Resistance, grant a +6 bonus to all save throws. Wonderful to have for your buffing spell. Symbol of Fear, create stationary rune when triggered, causes fear to nearby foes. This is like a trap rune. Go ahead, toss it, and boom, they'll run away. Symbol of Persuasion, creatures, this will actually create a stationary rune when it triggers. It charms nearby enemies, so this way they'll fight for you. Undeath to Death, destroys 1d4 hit dice per level. Maximum is 20d4 hit dices. Very powerful spell against the undead. If turn undead doesn't do anything, use this spell to wreck the rest if they are undead. Let's talk about the level 7 spells. On to the level 7 spells. Destruction, kill subject, and destroy remains. Now, if they make their save throws, they'll only take 10d6 damage. Great spell against the living. Ethereal Giant, become one with the ethereal plane for 1 round per level. You cannot be detected until you perform a hostile action. This is what I call a great setup spell. You cast a spell, then you go into a certain area, and then you cast a hostile action against a foe, or should I say hostile spell. Spell Mantle, Azor spell is equivalent to 1d8 plus 8 spell levels. Great defensive buff to have. Word of Faith, kills or stun opponents depending on what their hit dice are. Again, another anti-living spell. Even anti-undead too. Let's go to level 8. On to the level 8 spells. Earthquake, intensive tremor, shakes around 80 feet radius, doing 10d6 damage to all but the caster. Everybody takes damage. Living dead, party members. This is like a, oh crap, I got cast a emergency DPS, I should say AoE spell. This is one to have. Firestorm deals 1d6 level fire damage and a large area effect per level. Very powerful AoE spell against the living. Also dead too, but good against the living. Mass Death Ward, party grants immunity, just like the Death Ward spell, to death effects and negative energy effects too. Great buffing spell. Sunbeam, inflicts 1d6 level to undead, 3d6 to others in the same area effect. This wrecks undead big time, so the damage just keeps getting up for undead. Can blinds target 2. Vampires don't make their saves to get destroyed by it. Max damage to undead is 20d6. Wonderful spell to have if you are in the sun domain. You will get that at 7 early on, and this way you can really empower it and do some serious damage. Let's talk about level 9, the final level for clerics. Etherealness. The party is temporarily transported to the ethereal plane until one of them performs a hostile action. Again, great setup spell for everybody. Put everybody in position. Once you cast a spell, then go crazy. Implosion kills most creatures nearby. Save throw survives this spell. Wonderful spell against the living. Storm Avenges. Storm rains acid, lightning, hail, doing 3d6 damage per round on each of the 3 elementals. Very powerful spell to have against the living and undead. So this is your anti-living spell. Undead's Eternal Foe. Party is granted immunity to negative damage. This also includes level, ability drain, poison, and disease. Powerful buffing spell. Buff it on your party, then buff the rest, and go to town on your undead foes. That's about it for level 9 spells. So let's go ahead and talk about for the next part of this build video, the leveling up process. Now it's definitely time to go ahead and level up our Doomguide / Cleric. So we'll have to go through the Cleric levels first. So that's will be about 2 to 7. So we got to make sure we get the level 3 spells. So we'll pick the Cleric. There we go. And what we're going to do is Concentration, Diplomacy, and of course Spellcraft. Those are the 3 you want. Sorry, no feats. Happens with the Cleric. So we're going to level up some more. There we go. Let's hit that for the Cleric class. Usual suspects on the 3 skills. That's all you're going to be picking, is those 3 skills through the entire build. Very simple on that end. Now, what we're going to do is great Fortitude. That's the second requirement for the Doomguide in the feat department. So let me make sure I do find it. Great Fortitude. You get +2 bonuses to all Fortitude saves. Very good to have. So if you have low Fortitude or so, very nice. Again, prerequisite for the Doomguide if extra turning that wasn't there, I probably would have definitely picked the evocation spell line to boost that up. So let's level up our cleric again. Let's see here, wisdom. Every point in the wisdom, we're gonna get that at least up there. Concentration, diplomacy. We already got the 5 in that, but I'm just gonna max it out for talking skills and such, and spellcraft. So let's go for more. Let's get the cleric. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see what else we're going to do. Concentration, diplomacy. Let's see what else. Spellcraft. Sorry, no feats. And let's keep on going. Cleric, concentration, diplomacy, spellcraft. You know the usual suspect. Okay, let's see here. We got ourselves another feat to get. And I am going to go ahead and do spell penetration. So this way, caster... it's least likely your foes will resist your spells. It's a great way to get to the greater one and then the epic one, which is nice. So we'll get a +2 bonus against foes now when we cast our spells, especially the undead when we use certain ones. Let's do the cleric. Let's pick the 3 skills. That's what we're going to call it from here on out. And there we go. Now we're 7 levels cleric. So welcome to the world of the Doomguide. So let's go ahead and pick that. And yeah, we got all the requirements. Wisdom. All points in the wisdom, no matter what. And let's see here. Concentration, diplomacy, and of course spellcraft. Same as the cleric, which is nice. Now we get to progress as if we're a cleric, which is good. And we get this boon also. So let me go ahead and check that out and see what we definitely get. But still, that's very nice on the spell department. Doomguide level 1 by the grace of the Lord of the Dead. Doomguides in their Doomguide class level, cleric levels for purposes of turning undead for both the initial checks and turning damage rolls. In other words, this will boost our turn undead. Very powerful stuff indeed. So our turn undead is another useful tool against of course, the dead. So let's keep on going. Doomguide once again. We'll go ahead and pick course concentration, diplomacy, and spellcraft, the 3 skills. At this point, you don't like diplomacy, star, and tumble. But you gotta make sure it's 5 at least, or else you're not a Doomguide. And we get ourselves another, where is it at? Feat. Greater spell penetration. Instead of the +2 we get against our foes' resistance, we get ourselves a +4, more likely to do damage against them. Improve turning, so we get to turn against undead creatures 1 level higher than us. I say that's very nice. That's a free feat though for more I should say turning undead prowess. So let's keep on leveling up our Doomguide here. So let's go at it. Concentrate. Yeah, the 3 I'll just say at this point. Pick those 3. And extra turning 2. So we get more turn undead, which is good. Very nice indeed. Now some people pick the paladin class for that, so this way they get to use epic spell, I think might or epic divine might. So Doomguide once again, we'll level it up, and there we go. Doomguide saving throw bonus, so we get more saving throw bonuses with our Doomguide here. So this is very nice. So all of our saving throws will be +4, and at a certain point at level 8 we'll get +8. It's a good thing. So let's keep on leveling up our cleric / Doomguide on the Doomguide side. So let's go ahead and pick the Doomguide. There you go. Wisdom, all points in the wisdom, very important on that. So there you have it. Let's keep on going on that. We get ourselves another feat. Oh, we get this boon of fatal touch. I decided to extend spells this way, extend my buffs like bless and such. However, bad news is it has to be 1 spell slot higher. So in order to do a level 1 bless spell, I have to use up a level 2 spell slot for that. But it lasts longer. This one's very nice. It does is before combat, we cast it on ourselves or our weapon, as our weapon will get damage bonus against the undead. At that's at 5. At 7, that does gives you bonus against the undead. It gives you Undead Bane, which gives you more damage. At 9, it gives you Undead Bane, of course, and disruption properties, even if they are not blunt weapons. So this must be cast before combat. So you can either do it with a blunt weapon or a baster sword like I have, since my deity uses that in the combat. So those are that's a nice feat we get for our class, and extend spells nice we picked. So once we're done with that, give everybody a little time slightly, and then I'm going to go ahead and resume the leveling still. So our next thing we're going to level up one more, I should say another time, is another Doomguide. I'm just going to see if there's anything else I need to show. Oh, okay, let me just hotkey that. There you go. So let's get our Doomguide to level 6. Doomguide will be level 6 now. The 3 we're going to pick, just like the 3 in Baldur's Gate 3. And Divine Vengeance. So we get ourselves another free feat. Divine Vengeance, this will do is add 2d6 points of sacred energy damage to all your melee attacks against the undead. So you pop this baby instead of using Turn Undead, then you go to town on tough undead foes that cannot be turned away. Good to have, and since we have so many, Turn Undead, we get to kick some serious butt. Let's go ahead and do the Doomguide. The 3 skills, the only 3 now I'm doing this build. And no feats, happens from time to time. So let's level up our Doomguide. So let's go ahead and do that, and there you go. Let's see here. Okay, we get ourselves some feats. We get our saves, this +8. Now we're going to go ahead and I decided to do his practical spellcaster cleric. So we have a spellcasting advantage as a cleric a bit more, especially against our foes and such, which is good. And as I mentioned, there's our save throw bonuses there. Instead of 4, we get 8. So I'll just override that. Ethereal Purge. This will purge invisible foes around you once a day. And this is a very powerful spell against anything invisible, especially shadows. This is ideal against shadows. If they make their will saves, they won't be revealed. They don't. There they are. Go kill them. That's what I'll definitely say. Also useful against foes or from the that's invisible too, like rogues and such. Still, it's nice to have. Let's level up our Doomguide, and let me put that hot bar this real quick. And there you go. So yeah, see, there's that's just I just test that out, and boom, we get to do that to our foes. So let's level up our Doomguide. We got 2 more levels, then it's Cleric rest of this build. Wisdom. Put your points into Wisdom, please. It's at level 16, but still, it's like every 4 levels you get ability points. The 3, we'll go Select. Very simple, very easy. No feats. It happens from time to time. And the last level of the Doomguide is 10, so we'll go ahead and do that now. Concentration, Diplomacy, and of course Spellcraft. You don't like Diplomacy after 5, Tumble is the way to go. And we get 3 now. Oh boy. We get extra turning, so we get more chances to turn more undead. And power turning, what this is you can turn or rebuke undead than usual after adding your cleric levels and charisma modifiers to your turn undead rolls multiplied by 1.5, I think it is. Very powerful indeed. And we get one more. Where is it at? I think it's Kelemvor's Grace. At level 10, we get immunity to death effects. Further allies grant a +4 bonus against death effects and saving throws against negative spell energies, which is very good. For the rest of this build, we're go ahead and level up our Cleric. So let's go ahead and select that now. We're done with the Doomguide. The 3 skills, again, for those of you just coming in this part, Concentration, Diplomacy, and Spellcraft. So let's go down and pick another feat. I believe it's a meta magic one. I'm going to go ahead and do Empower Spell. This will take about 2 spell slots above. So for example, if you want to do Sunbeam, that's at 7, and you have to use a level up of 9 spell slot up. However, you get to do 1.5 damage on that. Very useful. I'm just pointing that out. Let's go ahead and do the Cleric. So we're getting close to the normal levels being ending and starting the epics. 3 skills, that's about it. So let's go ahead and level up our Cleric once again. Wisdom, put points into that. Don't worry, we'll even that out to 24 at least. And there you go. We'll put the 3 there. And that's about it. You should have level 9 spells now, by the way. So let's level up in our epic levels. By the way, welcome to the epic levels for our cleric. So we get our epic character. It says that as a proof. That's like a badge of honor, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and do epic spell penetration. So instead of +4, we get +6 against our foe's resistance. And of course, we have higher wisdom. We get to do more damage. We have good wisdom with this build. So let's keep on going. Cleric, once again. Yep, you heard that right. The epic version. So let's go ahead and select that. The 3 skills. Yep, there you go. And there you go. And there you go. No feats. Sorry, happens. Cleric once more. So let's keep on going the cleric path until we get to 30. And there you have it. Let's stop there. And let's see what we have. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do Great Wisdom. So this way, by the time we do 24 and 28, we'll have about 24 Wisdom. So now we got +1 Wisdom. See, it was 21, now it's 22. So let's go ahead and do that. Wisdom at level 24. We get to do that one more time at level 28, and then that is it. So let's go ahead and do this, and no feats. Clerics do get powerful magic, though, if used in the right hands, of course. Okay, there you go. Let's go ahead and select that, and there. And let's see what else we're going to go ahead and get at this point. I'm going to go ahead and do Epic Vampiric Feast. It's like a very powerful AoE damaging spell. It drains life from the living. And if any of your foes who dies from it, they become greater shadows that will attack other surviving enemies. Very powerful epic spell. Pop this baby. You have a whole bunch of shadows will help you out big time. So let's level up once more. So at level 26 now, character level. So let's go ahead and pick the Cleric. So let's select that. And there you go. Let's go ahead and select these. Yep, the 3 skills. And see if anything else I could grab. Nope, no feats. Happens from time to time. Cleric, let's select that. Let's select all the skills. And now there you go. Let's see anything else for the feats. Oh, yes, we do. At this point, I decided to definitely go for Persistent Spell. This will take up 6 spell slots. However, it'll be like a permanent buff until you rest. So, for example, Bless. Yeah, instead of level 1, that'll be level 7 spell slot. However, that'll be a permanent effect. Very good to have for the low level spells that are really useful down the line. You could just cast that. And you don't have to use a potion. Level 28, Wisdom. So you'll be at 24 Wisdom there for this build. That's before items and such too. So it's like unbuffered. Natural 24. And no feats. And we're going to go ahead and level up once more. The Cleric. Concentration, Diplomacy, and of course, last but not least, Spellcraft. Last time, select a feat, everyone. I decided to do Toughness at this point because I want more hit points. So let's select that, and that should do it. Then we'll level up one more time, and then that should be it. Last time, put any skills in, and we're going to put the 3 in, Concentration, Diplomacy, and of course, Spellcraft. And that's about it for leveling up our Cleric. So next part of this build video is Gear Advice. One very important detail I do need to go over. So if you want 10 Wisdom items, it has to be actually 10. You cannot do an 8 or then a +2. It'll only accept 8. So remember that. As for ability scores or attributes, I should say, definitely focus on Wisdom to get that highest as can. Second, Charisma. After that, definitely go for Strength if you need to. Dex and Constitution. Get your Reflex saves up there via items also, since that's a bit low. If you get any of the immunities, go for that as well. Skills helps as also. Make sure you keen your weapon if you can. True Seeing is a good idea. Haste up items too. Acid bonus damage if you're forced to melee. That's good as well. Weight reduction items big time, especially your heavy items. You cannot wear any heavy because it's too heavy. Go to medium. Other than that, definitely listen to my advice on that. If you need to get potions, that's fine. So for the next part of this build video, we're going to go ahead and do a combat demonstration. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about the combat portion. Just remember you're a spellcaster. You have high concentration still. Just be careful. So we're going to go ahead and face off against the living. Yep, that's right. The opposite what this build does, since we're great against the undead. So, as always, make sure you cast that nice spell that, of course, buffs up your weapon before each combat. And also, if you want to, have Vampiric Feast ready as well. So, we're going to go ahead and attack some foes. We're also going to go ahead and cast certain spells like Implosion, which is nice, and other things too we're going to cast is Firestorm. That's a good anti-living spell. There's Storm of Vengeance too, that's really powerful and OP. It'll last over entire combat, it'll wipe out foes too. Definitely know which spells you want to use against the living. So that was quick. So what about foes who are immune to critical hits? Well, let me explain. First, if it's any non-undead, use the living tactics like Firestorm, Storm of Vengeance, even Holy Word or Hammer of the Gods, etc. If it's undead, turn undead. Seriously. Yeah, see. Oh, wow. We just took out that Lich in one swipe with that nice move. So let's go ahead and cast that. Let's see here. Yep, turn undead. Yep, we wiped out many undead. So this is what this build's for. Undeath to death, we're going to demonstrate that too. Let's see if I could take the foes out. And, oh, wow. I think we're about to do some Sunbeam action. Let's cast that as well. So a good combination, if Turn Undead doesn't work, is Undead to Death and Sunbeam. That's a nice combination. That's a 1-2 punch to knock out the Undead. If Turn Undead doesn't work. Turn Undead works, move on to the next set of foes. And that should do it about the combat portion of this video. Here's my final advice. You're going to start out a little bit slow. Start learning your anti-living spells. And start using Turn Undead if it's the Undead. Any foes immune to critical hits that's not undead, yeah, anti-living spells as well. Once you get to Doomguide, your your undead spells that you use against the undead, of course, I should say, yeah, you'll wreck them big time. Once you get back to the Cleric, it's all magic from here on out. This is it from my Neverwinter Nights 2 Ultimate Undead Bane Doomguide Cleric build video. This is Lord Fenton signing off. Thanks for watching and have a great day or night. Do please stay safe. Please subscribe to my channel for more guides, builds, and other videos from Neverwinter Nights 2. If you like what you see, then pick my suggestion on the upper left hand corner or YouTube suggestion on the bottom left hand corner. Have a great day or night and do enjoy the view.